Welcome back to whatever the heck we're trying to do here. Let's go exploring a little bit more, see the rest of these books. Yeah. In the last episode, we just went around and talked to some people. Pretty much the same as all the episodes before. A book about pate. This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. Okay. A book about Guadiero culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Scary stuff.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Don't be ridiculous. I know all these things.
You're fooling nobody.
Don't you sass me.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
I'm not really. Not really. Is it okay if I ask you some. Are you okay? Not really. Out. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
Oh, you're a book nerd, huh? Okay, she hasn't actually told us her name yet.
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide, as if recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Oh, heaven forbid.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
You're cold. Can I help in some way?
Kind of you to offer, sir.
She doesn't know what else to say.
What could you do to help her anyway?
I should have a word with the store owner, maybe.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important than, this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both, because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
Alright, it's gotten to be 5 o'clock now. How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy.
Hmm.
She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Cursed?
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed in what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Bankrupt?
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
What do you know about other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
Alright, let's start thinking about this here. Somewhere. Wait, where is it? I guess I can't think about it yet. Later. How does this curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifestations.
No such thing.
The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Enough about the curse for now.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
Sorry, I have to point this out. Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. What's this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Well, what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. Okay. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man.
She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning, dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something. He isn't even drawn right.
He isn't even drawn right. This isn't how human shoulders work. The perspective is all wrong.
She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside, unconvinced.
That's just no way to cop. I can do it way better than Dick Mullen.
Sure you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you.
Aw, you're a sweet little
Maybe
girl.
you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
58, huh? What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
Wow. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in that situation. That's a bit of a simplification.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone's poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
Alright, what about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life. Phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
She looks at you with puzzlement. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom.
Yes, she knows books. Definitely.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain.
I think it was my life.
Clearly have issues you need to address.
That's enough romance for me.
Maybe some about other books?
Okay, so who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
Extraordinary? That's an interesting way to pronounce extraordinary. She scratches her cold reddened cheek, then continues.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do.
Okay, sir.
Alright. I'm going to deduce something now.
The girl keeps
Hey.
her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks wary.
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
She shoots you a suspicious glance. There are a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
You want more? I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
I hope this entertained you.
It was okay, sir.
She's still got a rebellious streak. I don't think so. I think she's delightful.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You think so? Fine, do better. Deduce something about me.
You're quite sober.
She snaps back quickly.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Well said. Wait, how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
I'm also sad my head hurts.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
She looks you in the eye, a gleam of sympathy on her face.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar?
Because you know each other.
Yeah.
She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hang on, so you know me. We've met before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time.
She sways back and forth on her
You've
feet.
been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
What do you mean better? I look like shit.
Yeah, but you don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Party eyes?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning to. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics?
Oh, baby. That's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
Yeah, thanks. I've learned something about myself today.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
She smiles a wide, helpful smile. Alright, see you around, Annette. Huh?
Lonesome. Long way home.
Thought complete.
Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Well, so it didn't really help me all that much. So what did this get me? Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Speed gives 1 PSI. Gotcha. Interesting. Okay, cool. So we're not going to forget any of those. So we've just talked to Annette, and we could go into the bookstore. Might as well. Alright, there's her mom, I assume. Let's check this out. Gift books and molten candy.
The display rack is brimming with
Heimdall.
worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere.
Storekeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdallaman, the man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Thank you, Placence.
Rows and rows of Heimdallamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall return to Heimdall. And the solipsistic, man from Heimdall and the Heimdall man.
Good God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the sages at the end of the
Okay,
world.
okay.
Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest
Pain
of
threshold.
slaves. Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiation.
Alright, let's leave. Okay. Bit of a waste, but that's fine.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
I kind of like board games. Storekeep, what board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Graubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
No
Who are you
children.
going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do I have friends?
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
I don't feel as if I have any kids.
Friends are technically like family.
She fiddles with her pendant, thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
No thanks, suzerainty. I wonder what that's a metaphor for. So what's about all these Wirral things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
Anyone who's reading this is into role-playing games, because we're playing a role-playing game.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
She looks at the table, crossing her arms.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velcro.
I see, so this is Dungeons and Dragons type stuff.
Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Anything that really catches my eye?
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
Expensive. But that's game hobbyist for you. The book collects the national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Fascinating. Something behind that curtain there. I'll check it out. A quaint picture book brochure. Very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic. Rather candid, if I do say so myself. Another boring book just discarded here. Okay, well, more stuff.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
This seems to keep coming up in this game. I don't know if there's any paranormal sort of stuff in here, but it seems to be a theme. Storekeep, what books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
So how does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Well, that's a fairly decent point.
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
I see.
This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Ooh.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
So what's the pail?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's this book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
Well, what else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
How is that possible?
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Fair enough. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need.
Huh. Anything else of note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I certainly don't need that.
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Interesting. Okay, so that's something to consider. Maybe when I have a little more money to throw around.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinaise. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
Interesting.
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands. All just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you.
Squint first. Can you see cities on the islands?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan-Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Lots of world building here.
Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark.
Tell me about the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called.
Nothing in the south, I see.
Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
So those a couple failures there. Wow. Yeah, very difficult to pass those. Look at the map of Rivachol.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Rivachol East.
Le Jardin means the garden. I know that, at least, from my rudimentary French. And to the west of the river?
Houdon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
And Martinez?
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the Greater Rivachol Industrial Harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest.
Okay.
No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Let's take a look at the map of Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective.
Hey,
The
isometric.
date in the upper right corner says 48.
Okay, a few years ago.
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Shopkeep, can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
Yeah, I get it. I'm broke.
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is the one of Martinez so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The horse statue really doesn't look all that renovated.
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
I want to buy the map.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Yep. This is hella cheap, so might as well purchase it. So now we have a map which we can interact with. Excellent. So what next? I guess you.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Storekeep, anything of note in the shelf?
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Innocentic power? Who or what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
So you recommend it?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Costs a fair chunk of change though. So, no.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen.
Oh boy.
Over and over.
Dick Mullen. Storekeep, what's all this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Let's take a look.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Yeah, sure.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen dies?
Turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Alright, let's stop now.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Let's get out of here. Okay, so... let's head downstairs, please. Take a look at the curtain.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books.
Trying to hypnotize me to buy books? Well, interesting.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Let's examine the strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Let's pull them open, baby.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
I see, so you're into the whole paranormal stuff.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
She's almost begging you. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them.
No. Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Sure, I'll ignore the curtains. Why not be careful? Let's level up a little bit before we mess with supernatural stuff. And I think I already talked with this person.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
The clerk extends a greeting.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Alright, so she's a new age type.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
What is this insolence? She misunderstood.
Alright, that's not me.
Of course, no one puts words in your mouth.
I think you're mocking me. A curious pendant you're wearing, as I narrow my eyes mysteriously.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
She clutches the pendant and narrows her eyes as well. So are you the owner of the store, obviously?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Too bad. Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
If it's just a storage room, then why do you have that strange trinket on the curtains?
It's just for decoration.
She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant.
Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtains again.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean?
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Strange. I feel unwanted too. What does it mean?
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
That's incredibly silly.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Well, would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
Psychic arts? Sounds right down our alley.
Alright, let's convince her to let us investigate the doomed commercial area.
Slither up to
Yeah.
her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
I have returned from the void, a para detective from a long line of para detectives.
You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
You see, it's necessary... No, I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
I am the Void Revenant. I have the power to debag... De-bad all the bad energies.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from the doom.
Yeah, it could be.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
On my honor.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Ooh.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity, for I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin.
Okay. What if I want to buy... Okay, your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
10. She's certainly very polite and helpful.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Lots of great options here. I'm going to read them all. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. Annette is quite the trooper. She's a great value add. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. Ooh, number 4. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails?
God. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life.
Well, you're not wrong there.
A part of hers, too, clearly.
I don't think she can do anything about it.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
Man, Kim Kisaragi suddenly coming in, and he is concerned about this child. That is true. And obviously the will of the market, but maybe make an exception for your daughter?
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy.
Wow, okay, we're doing well.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
She stops, but her mouth keeps moving.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
I see. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
She shakes her head.
My husband is completely different, of course.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Grand Couronne? What's that?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And your husband's also involved with the bookstore.
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
I see. Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Well, why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy, helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
All right.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Okay, but please, only a few questions.
The woman looks aloof.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The books await you.
So what types of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
God, what a hypnotist.
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Do you even know what books you have for sale?
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Shouldn't a storekeeper know about her wares?
I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine.
She wiggles her bony fingers at you. Where do you learn about the important things then?
The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
Oh, she nods at me cryptically.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Right, so we need to investigate the doomed commercial area as well. Lots of stuff going on. Not a lot of it completely related to the case. At least I don't think. So now might be a pretty good time to talk to the girl. I also need to investigate behind the curtains. Let's talk to Annette first. She was delightful.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
But you're not even going to school.
You just can't win.
Oh, whoops. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hi,
whoa.
Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
So what are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess.
Is they your mom?
Oh, I found something while you were away.
You did? What is it?
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears in the covers. Where did you get it?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
A detective hat.
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
She looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. See you around, Annette. Alright, let's take a look at this hat here. Look at that. We get +1 encyclopedia book smarts. Not bad. Alright, time to take a look behind the curtain. Let's quick save here.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
A small, terrified, "Oh!" escapes from Placence as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Well, time to investigate. Not much to look at here. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. What's that? A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. It's more than vaguely androgynous.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you. covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Let's unlock the door with the key that we got.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Let's go, baby. Uh-oh. Let's zoom out a little bit. It's a exercise room. Sand is dripping from a punch bag, so it's ripped open. The poster says Citius Fortis, the rest is worn off. Shot put ball. Well, it's got a fairly good price. Kim has something to say about that.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Good thinking, Kim.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Alright, Kim. I see your game. Let's go with our tools. Put the flashlight on. Hey, there we go. Oh, I look like a detective moving this thing around. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Alright, that's a low. Is this familiar? Because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
So, a wrestler.
It's just a memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars in the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of a bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
EPIS. That came up earlier. Anyway, let's leave. I don't think anything good is going to happen when we try to lift that thing up. So, let's go upstairs. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Quick save. Anything else we can interact with? Doesn't look like it. Oh boy. This is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Especially that over there. Let's start over here. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. So they do. So don't think I can make it in there yet. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. Right? The music has gotten a little scary. I don't do well with scary games. So let's hope the jump scare that's coming is not too severe. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Oh, lots to examine here. Okay, we got lots of money, comparatively. Blue velvet she wore, soft to the touch, moth-bitten. More, what's his name? David, Inland Empire, Blue Velvet, Eraserhead. That guy. Ooh, more money. Excellent. So where to go next? Could head into this room. Sure. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. What's this? What are you? Seems expensive. I'll take it. So was that an item? Okay. Interesting. So, I know it said, oh, you can pawn some of these items off. I am definitely afraid to do such a thing. I get the feeling we're gonna need some of these. Right, so, what's in here?
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
Okay.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Do you think I should turn it on?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
Let's turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Let's look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Let's insert the production schedule.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place.
Ooh.
On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Let's press play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Wait, are we talking to this person? What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes, I have.
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater
Well,
stations.
why did you tell me to do that? I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
In video games, they sure do.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
Radio games.
That's not bad.
And what's that? An interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
Oh, weird. What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old lady's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Let's press print.
Nothing happens.
Cool. Alright, so it's trying to get me to use my skill points. I'm not going to use them yet. Maybe later. What's all this then? Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Well.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural.
Project Dread.
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Alright, let's select these options.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
So, elves.
Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Well, let's take a look.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
I see.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
Alright, racist elves. Where have I seen this before?
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Yeah, like the developers. Who are these creatures? Who drew them?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Alright, so it's a fantasy world.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Everyone is constantly teetering on the edge of the abyss, an abyss of production. These squares look orderly, but beneath them is chaos, worry, pain.
That's development for you.
Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
So what happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness. So, yeah, it's nice to have skills. If you pass these checks, select certain dialogue options, you gain experience, which means you can gain more skills.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Maybe they have the password.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
Okay.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on. How do I know what Kadran mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
Alright, what am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Alright, radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So we're dealing with something medical here.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Wait, who's the game master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
Well, if it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My god. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Yeah, I can tell the game developers were having fun with this section.
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Alright, let's see if any of that was the password. Oh wait, hang on.
Tiles on the cube are...
Okay, let's talk to Kim.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Interisolary. And this was a role-playing game.
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
So what do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
This world's cold and lonely. This would keep a company. Let's finish it.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
He says, looking around the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Gotcha. Well, that was kind of fun. So, let's see if we can get any more of those
Tiles on the
passwords.
cube are still smoked. The speaker comes to life.
Good evening, sir. Please repeat. Good. Please repeat the password.
Is it my birthday?
Still no.
This is a police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
The voice in the machine asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air.
Received
Don't worry.
for stress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoked.
Alright, well... that was fun and all. Let's try to open this door. After quick saving, of course. Ooh. Got some magnesium. Got some money. Excellent. That was handy. Alright, let's start using WASD here. So what do we have? Let's check out this. The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. There's something over there as well. An ice cream maker. Defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Alright, before I check out the hidden doorway, I'm going to check out the bear cooler.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Well, let's crack it open.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Let's take a look.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Let's take the note.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Alright, let's examine the ice cream wrappers.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
I see. Good question.
Good question.
Oh!
It looks like an ice cream fridge.
The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. God, you and me, Kim, we're just really matched up. Our brain chemistry. So they try to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Alright, let's close it. And let's take a look at this hatch here.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Not a hatch, a furnace.
Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Let's leave. I seem to recall the furnace being important. So we have things we can interact with. Let's interact with the handwritten note.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Marvelous. Let's read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sulisław.
Polish. I wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno.
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Alright, let's put it away. And take a look around. Somewhere close, huh? Oh god. Not sure I like where that autosave is going. those are stairs that might lead me somewhere else. Let's take a look at the hidden door. Here we are. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Well, it would have been nice to get a gun. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling, so more non-working guns.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Look, cache. Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Sure.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
I don't even have a choice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
An old Bill McGraw from the Revolution. The lieutenant notes with approval. His eyes are gleaming. What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy, Kim. Okay, let's keep taking a look around here. Oh, a frozen ice cream maker.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Let's try to crack open the lid.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Hint, hint.
If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Equip the pry bar.
Yeah,
by
I get it.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
Thank you, Inland Empire. Let's take a look at this. Yes. Okay, so let's go here, grab the tool, grab the pry bar, and take a look.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge.
What is this?
You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced? Where do we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Well, I think we already know what's in it, just not precisely. So I don't want to leave, not just yet. Insane mesh tank top. Thank you. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Okay.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Let's unplug the black cable.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
Alright, so that should help with the completely frozen ice cream machine. Let's... I don't see the point in unplugging the giant red cable, so let's leave. Okay, I don't want to go up the stairs yet. Let's take a look at what's hiding in the chimney right over here.
A thick layer of cold. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway into the furnace. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Let's smear our hands with coal.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
No, let's not express ourselves. Let's just wipe our hands clean on our pants.
Yes, how grown up. The furnace agrees.
All
The
right.
lieutenant seems relieved as well.
Those voices I heard. Maybe it's a malignant entity. Playson says it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
You muster all your strength and yell. Your dehydrated, hungover throat can produce little more than a dry croak. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you.
Unfortunate.
The chatter from the chimney continues on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there.
Unfortunate.
Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there.
Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Okay. That was a little odd. I'll heal up again. I'm surprised that did so much damage. Like, quite surprised. But, it is what it is. So, anything else here? Let's go upstairs. Wait. Wait. This looks familiar. So, we've taken a look over here. Yeah, I don't know. So can we go back in there? Apparently we can. Somewhat odd, but I guess I won't complain. Because I remember I was able to look here.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Should we really go through... Well, we can try Fortress Accident.
Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call.
I get the feeling these are all the failed businesses.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
Since it's me, I'm investigating the doomed commercial area, just like we discussed.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
So it has.
You ring the doorbell. But what an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
Andrew Orlando? Sounds fine to me.
You ring the doorbell. You wait for a minute or two. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
Wonder why they did that.
You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything.
Hello? Anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
Okay, sorry, that was really trippy in my headphones right there. This is a woman's voice, crackling and fragile through the static. Have you
Have you come to place an order?
that kind of hurts.
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
Hold on, Tricentennial Electrics? I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Do we know each other?
Michelle, just please.
She stops and you can hear her breathe heavily, her breath distorted by ancient static.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Hold on, tell me what's going on. What did I do?
Ever since I came to work here, it's different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Oh God, please don't cry.
She doesn't answer.
Hey, are you still there?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
Alright, it's a goodbye then.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Oh, whirling in rags.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Not surprising.
Silence. No one answers your call.
Empty card.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
He takes a step back, inspecting the other names on the list. Alright. So, we might as well attempt the challenging volition.
No. Hold on.
Snake eyes.
The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something else to do.
So, it's 8 p.m. here. And, you know, I think this is as good a place as any to stop the video. Let me unequip some of these things. The tool, flashlight, and pry bar. I don't need either in my hands right now. Take a look at my guy, who's hiding his face under his hat. So let's get that off. Yeah, there you go. Let's put on this mesh shirt. Beautiful. Alright, let's put on the regular shirt again. Anyway, so this has been enlightening. Not really, but might as well say it's been enlightening. Yeah, still a lot of mysteries. I'm still not exactly sure where I'm supposed to go from here. But I suppose that's the nature of... This really does seem less like a point and click, or less like a visual novel, and more like a point and click detective game. Like those old-fashioned, you know, Indiana Jones and the Secrets of Atlantis, or whatever it was called. I was never any good at those, but, I mean, I've been making progress. So, yeah, this is where the episode ends. Next time, we'll try to figure out a little more what's actually going on here, how to get the body down, who killed the person, what's going on in the back room, how to fix the curse. There's a lot of stuff we have to deal with. So, we'll deal with it one day. For now, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, listening, and take care, everyone.